Everyone. Welcome to Hustle and Grow. I am your host, Vonda. Usually you see me on Monday nights at 8 p.m. here on All About Us Radio on Mo Money Mondays. But today we are going to talk about entrepreneurship, marketing and branding, and what that looks like. I have my co-host here, Andre Taylor. Say hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I think we make a pretty good team, Andre. So I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about marketing and branding. I know that we hear those words all the time. And yes, in theory, we understand what that means. I was in advertising for about 9 years. So even I thought that I had a really great handle on the idea of marketing and branding and how that helps people in their business or really emerging in their area of expertise. But recently I had an experience that left me feeling like I had no idea what that was. And so I was invited to a birthday event in California, which is all the way across the country. And I went, but I had no idea what I was in for. And so the actual event was branded, I learned. And so so let me tell you, the postman knocked on the door. This is how it started. I accepted. I said I would go. I hadn't even bought my plane ticket. Destination birthday parties. Who does that? I don't know, but I really wanted to check it out. And so I got a package one day, and in the package was a box. And the box had a theme on it, a beautiful label, all of this crinkle paper, and there were all these gifts inside, okay, including a little bottle of coconut vodka and bubbles and a cue card so that we could watch the series that the party had been themed after. And I was so confused, but it really set a tone and I got excited. And then there was a book. And the book was an itinerary of what the event would hold. Now, this was going to be a 4-day event, 4-day birthday party. I did not know what to expect, but this box kind of helped to set a tone and create this anticipation and this excitement. There were some naughty treats in the box. There were some candy treats in the box. I mean, I didn't know what to think. So of course I booked my flight and I'm now ready. The booklet that I got, this itinerary, had a picture of me in the book along with the birthday person. And that really engaged me. So now I was like, a picture of me in a personalized little itinerary, 8.5 by 11, like manual, that told me, what I should wear, what the events were going to be, where we would be having dinner on the first night, where we'd be collecting or gathering on the second night, where the pool party would be, what color bathing suit, and a link to where I should purchase this bathing suit. Hot pink it was, okay? A hot pink bubblegum bathing suit I had to purchase. Since I'm such a juicy, full woman, I thought, oh no, I'm going to get my own bathing suit. And it's a good thing that I asked the host, because she said, oh, no. I have a link for the juicy girls. This is the bathing suit that I'd like you to wear, please. And I just thought, there was a night for all black. There was a casual night. There were so many, it was already planned, every moment of it, from karaoke night. And the thing is that there was even a requirement for an evening where I would have to show up in a certain theme of dress with an alter ego. So I want you to know that I didn't know any of the people that were going. I think I knew the birthday girl and one other person. 18 people flew across country to California to have this birthday party in Hollywood. And it is probably one of the moments that I will remember for the rest of my life, or what I could call an experiential moment. But the experience started before I even got to the birthday party, which for me, it was really trippy. And I was like, so by the time we all gathered, there was this level of excitement, camaraderie, because there was a Facebook page built around the anticipation and people were commenting. So we kind of got to know each other based on our alter ego. I mean, it was just enormous. And I thought to myself, I wanted to bring this up because I really, though I thought I understood branding and marketing, I didn't understand it. I had no idea that it embodied and encompassed all of this. So I would love you to speak to that, since you are the branding and marketing expert. Does that mean that if someone can brand a birthday party or themselves, like how do you transit, like what could you possibly do for business? That's just amazing to me.
Absolutely. Vonda, thanks for sharing that story. There's so much to unpack there. It sounds like an all-around awesome experience. It sounds like that was very, well thought out, right? Very methodical from start to finish. In a word, there was clarity. There was clarity. And this is one of my favorite words in business, because when it comes to marketing, when it comes to, branding, selling your brand to people, one of the most important parts, if not the most important part, is that there is clarity. Like, people need to be able to look at what it is that you do or what you have to offer in terms of your product or service, and immediately be able to understand and identify what it is that you do, right? It should be blatantly obvious. So there has to be that clarity there. And just to go back to your example, there was obvious clarity. It was like, hey, what are we doing? A destination birthday celebration. It was like you immediately, instantly knew. You said, hey, as I unpacked the packaging, which was well put together, right? I had all the ingredients. And I love that I don't know who this person is, but they, like you said, they had an itinerary and they put together a step-by-step process. And this is relevant not only to a birthday celebration, right, but to business or pretty much life in general, because what that does is it provides that depth and that clarity that you need in order to get on board, to connect with what's happening. And that, to me, is a really good, connection or parallel to the story you shared, which I love. And a lot of people struggle with that, to be totally honest. I like to actually encapsulate this in the process that I call the customer journey. And the customer journey, what I use is a 8-step process that goes around almost in like a circle. It starts at point 1 and it circles back around to point 8 and then circles back to point 1. It's, it continues forward. And in each point on this journey is a step-by-step process that you take your customer through. And that completion of that process, I like to call, is the experience. And that is exactly what happened with your story, right? You're like, hey, I gained this amazing experience with this person. I'm going to call that person the brand, right? Like the way she marketed, the way they branded it, and the step-by-step process from start to finish made an amazing experience. And you left a really great taste in your mouth, right? You walked away and you're saying, now I'm telling people this story. Now I'm sharing.
Absolutely.
I'm a living testimony, right?
Yes.
And if they did a really good job, you would go from being just leaving your story like an advocate to actually shouting it to the rooftops, right? You're probably like, hey, I'm telling everybody, like, if you need a branding expert,
yes,
lady, And so now you're a promoter. And that's an amazing way for businesses of all shapes and sizes to grow their business. So sometimes we think like, I just got to go get a bunch of money and, maybe I got to get a billboard or I got to do paid ads on Google or social media and that kind of thing. When especially it's true for small organizations, one of the number one ways for you to continue to grow and foster growth is to do what that person did to you, which is turn you into an advocate. And if they can, turn you into a promoter. So you're singing to the rooftops of how amazing this was. And you're bringing in awareness, right? And you're giving referrals and you're spreading the story around. And that is actually a form of marketing, right? It's a form of branding, a form of way for your company or organization to grow, which is super powerful. Like, what better way to grow than a satisfied customer or a satisfied client?
All of that.
Going out, right? Speaking,
Right.
how amazing their experience with
All of that.
with you is. So absolutely love how, you kind of broke that thing down. So that was one of my key takeaways. Now, let me turn it back to you, Vonda. What was maybe a key takeaway for you or something that really stuck out? Because you've been in business for a while as well, and I'm sure you experienced a lot of different experiences, over the years, bad and good. But what was about this experience that really stuck out?
Interesting that you asked that. And as you were speaking, I am left with, it's interesting. You said that she was branding herself. The birthday girl was branding herself. I don't know her terribly well, but I've known her for several years. And I felt like through this process, I really got to know her. When I arrived, it was like the time span of receiving the box, and then the Facebook interaction with the other guests that I didn't know, and shopping for the things that I needed for this experience, this birthday experience that I was going to go on a journey to. All of that helped me to really get to know the brand, the person. So when I arrived, I felt like we were closer than ever. So interesting that I felt close. I felt close.
And so, and when you share that, you make me think about like a major key, which is the story. The story. I think this is oftentimes missed in organizations as well, is that we, sometimes put up like all this information, right? This technical information, like, oh, we do 1,000 things, it's all amazing. And sometimes we get, distracted or lost in the fact that we're not communicating a story.
Yeah.
And that's really what people connect to, right? Like when you are engaging with somebody or you're interested in what it is that they do, you're connecting with that story. You're saying, hey, I see myself in that person, that brand, that company, that organization. It's almost like a reflection. It's like a frequency, if you will, right? You resonate with
I
that.
like that word, frequency, right?
I love what you said. You're like, I understood her better. I got to know her better. And what did that do? That built a bridge or a pathway of connection. And once you were connected with her, you're like, oh, I see who she is. I see what she's trying to do. I get it. I'm like that. I like to have fun. This sounds exciting.
Yes.
Part of the party, let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah.
That is another major key. A lot of people don't realize, right? We got to tell the story. So I love that you share that, because that's an excellent example. You bought into that story. You bought into it. What's happening. And it's kind of like it was gone from there. And next thing you know, you were doing stuff maybe you don't normally do, right? Or
absolutely
supposed to, but you're like, hey, why not? I want to be part of this thing. I get it. I'm full of energy. I'm fly. I like to have a good time.
It made me so open
too, right?
I was open, I really was open. I was open. And that may not have been the case had I just, without all of the red carpet rollout. Let's put it that way. That's how I'll explain it. The camaraderie that was created. The anticipation, the information that was dripped, during the course up until the date of, all of that. Absolutely. And that feeling of that I'm in a place where everybody else is and we're all here and we're on the same page. That was really important for me. That we were that it felt really individual and personal, yet it was a collective. How that's pretty incredible to achieve that. So that's what branding does. That's what marketing is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you make me think about, you know, a third point as well is emotions. Majority of people, this isn't absolute, right? But a majority of people, we're emotional buyers, right? We do things based on the way it makes us feel. So like if I think it's gonna make me feel better or it's making me feel good, just take all my money, right? This is here's my wallet, just go for it. But if it on the opposite side, if it makes me feel horrible, I think it's gonna be a bad experience or poor experience. I'm like putting the padlock, you know, on my money, on my balls. No, you cannot get in. And I love the fact that through her branding and her marketing, she was able to stimulate you emotionally. She was able to reach you on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
And she did that because she was methodical, right? Because she had the customer journey figured out. She's like, hey, this is how it's gonna go. Here's the itinerary. You know, she broke it down. She did that because there was clarity. You were like, okay, I get it. I feel safe. This is something I can do. This is thought out. You know, she understands me. I might have a good time. And then the third thing is emotional. Now you're compelled. You're like, oh my goodness, I would love to do this. Because in your mind, in your heart, you're like, this is gonna make me feel better. I'm gonna feel great. I deserve a vacation, right? I deserve a trip to the other side of the country. And, you know, so there you're like, okay, what do I gotta do? You know, how much is the plane ticket? Like, I gotta put in.
It didn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter.
It really didn't matter.
There. And so I love that just in that simple messaging and how she packaged her brand and how she marketed that, she touched on all those major points in order to engage you said 18 people 18. To take this trip across the country to Hollywood, of all places, right? And to have the time of your life, to have a memory that will stay with you for the rest of your days. That's amazing. And those are the things that organizations need to realize that are important. They're like, they can be right, life or death, you know, in your business surviving. Like, yeah, like I do technology, but it's not good enough. Like, who cares about technology? It's boring. Right? It doesn't make you feel good. It might give you anxiety. So you don't really care the fact that I can help you as a digital coach or with your branding marketing. What you care about is how is this going to make you feel? Yeah. What is the story that's being told here? Can you connect with that? Is there clarity? Can you take that and it's going to make your life better experientially? Super, super powerful. Love, we need to bring her on the show. Because
I love it. I love it.
Some major.
You broke this down like it was just an experience, but to really to hear you break it down and bring it full circle and, you know, starting with clarity. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. So Andre of TaylorMade, my new co-host. I'm so excited. I am Vonda. You have been listening here on All About Us Radio to Hustle and Grow. Thank you for sitting with us while we have this Monday chat. We'll be back next week with a little bit more here on Hustle and Grow.